So, the same day that David Schultz's body is discovered in a field in an area that some believe was previously searched. Now, this is the driver that was hauling the load of pigs in Iowa. The same day his body is discovered, another driver is reported missing in Ontario. The driver's name, Brian Lush. Now, ground crews, air crews, they searched the entire area, including the truck, including the trailer. They shipped the truck and trailer back to his home city via ferry boat. When the truck arrives, his body is discovered in the trailer of the truck, where police are adamant they searched. Very mysterious. You know, what are we to make of this? How did his body end up in the trailer? You know, why was it not there when the ground crews were searching? You know, he parked this truck at a truck stop. He's seen on camera walking around the truck going towards the truck stop. It's the last thing anyone sees him. And then his body is discovered in the trailer after it's been searched and the guy's been missing. And you got ground crews scouring the entire area looking for him. It's just very interesting. Now, I want to talk about an older case. Now, this is well before 2010, when my friend Sly was a victim of, you know, this phenomenon, which was initially dubbed the smiley face killer phenomena. I think we can all agree that that's been debunked. It's a lot bigger than that. The scope of this is way bigger than that. Anyways, well before that happened in 2010, I remember hearing from my brother about this kid that went missing. And it was a friend of his nephew. And my brother lives more in the middle of Minnesota, and I grew up more on the eastern side. So I look into the story again today. It just kind of popped into my head. I look into it. The kid's name was Brandon Swanson. This was near Porter, Minnesota. And I remember hearing the story from my brother Kaylee, and as I read it, it's exactly as it was told to me. He was out drinking with some college friends. He ended up on his way home crashing his car in a rural area on a dirt road. Nobody really knows why or what he was doing there. He calls his parents. He's kind of lost, so he needs their help. They drive out there. They're flashing their headlights and trying to locate him. And he's flashing his headlights in response. They're not seeing each other. And he notices some lights through the trees that he believes is a nearby town. And he believes this is a town that he knows. And he asks his father to just meet him at a local bar in this town. He's going to walk through the woods until he gets there. So they decide to stay on the phone with Brandon. Now, at some point, I think 47 minutes into the phone call, he says, "Oh shit," and stops responding. Now, he's still on the line. His parents are trying to get a response from him. Nothing. They eventually hang up, dial his phone, try to get back a hold of him. He never answers. This is the last time anybody ever hears from him. This body has never been recovered. A lot of people think that he ended up in the Medicine Bow River. However, scent dogs have tracked his scent into that river, up onto the other side, and down a dirt road, actually, quite a distance beyond the river. So I don't believe that. His mother doesn't believe that. And I think that whatever is happening to these people is connected. And I don't believe it's a serial killer. I don't believe it's a group of serial killers. I think the scope of this is much bigger than that. And I want to get to the bottom of it. And until we press our government for answers, they've got to have the answers. They've got to know. I mean, why does the FBI come in and suppress a lot of these cases? You know, it seems like they're all suppressed, to be honest. Because why isn't it national news when somebody goes missing? Why isn't it national news when a dog goes missing? It's a good question, isn't it? It should be. But that was Brandon Swanson. Another case that just really stuck with me, and this is recent. This is after Sly. This is something I just discovered in the last 6 months here. I think it happened I'm not going to speculate on the year it happened. It happened at some point within the last 5 or 6 years here. The man's name was Henry McCabe, and this was in North Minneapolis. Now, Minnesota and Wisconsin are serious hotbeds for this phenomenon. I think anybody following it knows that. I don't live in Minnesota anymore, thank God. But this stuff is still going on there. Now, Henry McCabe, kind of the same set of circumstances, only he left a voicemail. And the last anyone heard from him, he left this voicemail on his, I believe his brother or his wife's cell phone. And it's him screaming. You can look it up online. I'm not going to put it on here. It's not something I like to listen to. It's 3 minutes, about 3 minutes long, and this man is basically screaming. It sounds like he's being drowned. You can hear the sound of another voice that says "stop it" at some point during the recording. Some people say it sounds like a creature of some kind. I'm not really sure, but it's disturbing. I know that, and it sure as hell doesn't sound like the sounds of a man that accidentally drowned to me. It sounds like a man that's being murdered. And I'm not sure if his death was ruled accidental or undetermined. However, it was not ruled a homicide. And the one case of all of these cases since they began that's been overturned to homicide, Chris Jenkins, we haven't seen any new evidence in the case. We haven't seen them come up with any new leads whatsoever since that happened in the 90s. So I don't know. I just really want to get to the bottom of it. I want to know what happened to my friend Sly. I want to know what happens to these other men. 2 very recent cases that happened in Chicago that you're not hearing about is Noah Enos and Seamus Gray. And these 2 men, pretty much the same circumstances as a lot of these men. They were out drinking with some of their friends. When they became separated from the group, all of a sudden they were missing, only to be missing until their bodies are recovered from the water. You know, and it's just, you know, there's been so many in Chicago that have been recovered in Lake Michigan under those circumstances that it's like, how many do you have to have before you have just this giant book that's like the Bermuda Triangle of homicides before you actually start doing something about it?